Hey y'all, let's dig back in, pick up where we left off yesterday. So Ahab has been searching for Elijah for a long time, intensely searching for Elijah. But when the time was right, the word of the Lord came to Elijah and said, go to Ahab. And one thing that I want to pull out here, and again, Ahab had reached and searched for 3 years, no rain or dew, and he could not find Elijah. He could not find him. And Obadiah says, what sin have I committed that you would tell me to go tell Ahab you're here? That's how driven Ahab was to find Elijah. And so what I want to bring out to this, I actually have in my notes, side note, when it's time, you won't have to find God. He will see to it. He will see to it. I've said for years, it has been an anchor in my spirit that the divine has to line up with time. That God, who is both the Alpha and the Omega, is outside of the bondage of time. That you and I live in this physical, natural world, and our things are ordered by times and seasons and days and hours and minutes. And while God is a God of order, he is not bound or constricted by time. And so there are things in his overarching divine purpose that must line up in order for the things that you and I have been praying for, believing for, the promises that he has given us, which, by the way, he expects us to take hold of, things in our lives that will be walking and living in the kingdom of God rather than the kingdom of man and darkness. There are things that he expects us to go after, believe for, to bring into existence in this world that have to happen as things line up. And I want you to think about the grandness of this. I mean, we're talking about all ages, from beginning to end, again, being Alpha and Omega, and all of the people, you and I, that have to work together so that and because your promise and my promise work together to bring this to line up for that. And so there are things at work, moving pieces that we know not of. And so when it's time, we won't have to seek and search and run ourselves ragged. The Lord will find us. As he came to Elijah and said, go, show yourself to Ahab. It's time. And it was time for what the Lord had been setting up, which we know and call that showdown at Mount Carmel, which was an impressive, incredible, indescribable, supernatural show and display of God's power. Absolutely making a farce and show and spectacle of Baals. And so Ahab gets to see Elijah. And so 1 Kings 17 and 18, Ahab sees Elijah. And I want to read this. So when Ahab saw Elijah, Ahab said to him, are you he who troubles Israel? Some translations call him the troublemaker of Israel. Now this is key. Key. The Hebrew there literally means trouble. Disturb, afflict, trouble. Part of shalom, which is peace, right? It's the Hebrew word for peace used in the Old Testament, and it is all encompassing. It is not just peace as in things are settled. It is peace that means nothing missing, nothing broken, having all the necessary parts in their entirety. It is well-being. It is undisturbed composure. Is one thing. Isaiah 54:13 translates it, shalom, great shall be the peace and undisturbed composure of your children. So this shalom, this peace, has been shaken. And that's what Ahab says, are you he who troubles Israel, who disturbs, who is the troublemaker of Israel, that has afflicted Israel? And tomorrow we'll find out Elijah's response. I'll see you then. Bye, y'all.